Good morning. Hey, if you're coming live, it's a little early, and that's usually the case, so welcome. I'm just kind of putting the gym back together here today after a big weekend of training and working and whatnot. So today we're going to work a lot with this position. And it usually, in the health and fitness world or strength and conditioning, whatever, that position is known as the prisoner position. It's not my favorite to name. So I changed it to double arm relax. That's a single arm relax. That's double arm relax. So if you have been training, chances are very good that that position, take in your hands, spread your fingers, and just, if you had a ponytail, you just grab it on the back of your head and interlock your fingers. So that position and the state of that position just gives us a lot of information about how locked up you can be in your thoracic spine. So this position, you should be able to get there quite easily. And then from my peripheral vision, you shouldn't be able to see your elbows, right? So if you're here and your elbows are forward, just let's start with getting that position into a little bit more ease. And if you do spend your day working on a computer, or you spend your day kind of working like this, writing, maybe driving, then throughout the day, I want you to just get into that double arm relaxed position. And what you start to realize right away, like even when I get out of this seated position, so I can't go all the way to that position, but when you're in this position, your hips are shortened. So your hip flexors are shortened, right? And that's also part of the equation. Remember the three key areas of mobility that we're after, where we want to have positive change and kind of lasting change. And I say kind of because the more we work, the more we ride, the more we run, the tighter we get. And if we don't undo it, then we're just going to be stuck in this tightened position. So as soon as I went into this full kneeling position and went into double arm relax, I felt a little bit of tension through my belly. That's normal because this weekend I had a pretty good weekend of training, so everything's kind of tight. So I start to get pulled into this shortened position of the ribs and the hips, and I start to get pulled into this shortened position of an anterior tilt in the pelvis. So on Mondays, it always became kind of my goal, and that's what I'm sharing with you, going on almost 2 years now, the whole concept of opening up the front line of the body, opening up all the muscles associated with the front fascial line. So double arm relax immediately adds tension and length through the belly, as long as those elbows are to the back. So if you're comfortable in this full kneeling position, the first thing we're going to do is stay in spinal extension. So just stay nice and tall. You don't want to be in the back seat. And all we're going to do is elbows together and then elbows apart. And we're going to do that 20 times. It's a lot of reps. So just kind of hang out with me. Get long through your belly. And we're going to go 2 and back. 3 and back. Stay tall. 4 and back. 5, 6, 7. You might even start sweating. 8, 9, 10, halfway. 11, 12, 13, good. 14, way to the back. Make sure they disappear. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, good. Same thing. Let's take the thumbs. We're staying, same thing. We're gonna keep working on the shoulders and the thoracic spine. So stay in that full kneeling position. You're gonna go palms to the back, thumbs touching the thighs, And we're going to keep touching the body all the way up till the thumbs go into the armpits. And then straight back down. 2. Good. And if you start to use your breath, you're going to go inhale. 3. Elbows up. 4. We're going to go 10 of these. Elbows up. 5. 6. Good. 7. Elbows up. Force them up. 8. 9. Good. And 10. Elbows way up, nice and high, like a chicken. Okay, let's go ahead and get standing. We're going to use that same arm tracing idea, except for now, we're going to start with the feet squared off. So we anchor the feet, right? That's a little bit of nomenclature that I want you to get used to. Anchoring. Anchoring means the outsides of your feet are parallel. So we anchor the lower body in that position. Now we're going to start to bring the ankles into the equation. So from right here, hands on hips, anchored position, we're just going to drive the knees forward just like that. We got 20 reps. 4, 5, 6, 7, knees over toes, 8, 10, 12, anchor the feet, 14, 15, knees over toes, 17, 20. Good. Okay, so let's go into a wide stance. Anchor the feet wide. So now the outside of the feet are parallel, okay? From right there, we're just going to do toe touches. We're going to hip hinge to the back, so push your hips to the back. Touch the ground. I said toes, we're not touching toes. We're just touching straight down, come right back. So from here, we've already got the upper back kind of warming up. 2, the upper back stays tall. 3, longest finger you got touches the ground. 4, push your hips back. 5, now we're starting to load and warm up the back line of the body. 6, 7, so right there you might get a little hamstring. 8, 2 more. 9, a little bit of dynamic warm up, dynamic mobility, and good. All right, let's take everything down to the ground. Grab your foam roller. So you can see over here my little collection of stuff. I've got a long foam roller, I've got a nice little trigger ball, and I'm going to go for the short foam roller today. Short foam roller, working the adductors, the inner thigh. So from right there, we're just going to roll the foam roller, moving through. Pretty dynamic. So there's so many different ways you can use the foam roller. Yes, you can hold on a sore spot and you can floss through that same spot by moving into it. But today, we're just going to use it a little bit like massage. So we're just warming up tissue. So just move through it. You can tell I'm down in the bottom third of the inner thigh, down by the knee. Just moving through it. Then we'll get right into the belly. And I load up a little bit with the upper body. My adductors feel pretty good. Let's get all the way up by the pubic bone. Get into that adductor magnus, that big guy that can cause so many problems. But he can also cause a lot of power as well. So if he's tight and not strong, he's going to inhibit other muscles functioning well and get in the way. But if he can move and be strong, he being adductor magnus, big muscle right up in there, you're going to feel that response in your glute function, okay? We're going to break the femur into 3 quadrants. First one's going to be down by the knee. We're just going to roll through it, nice and easy. Shouldn't be too painful, but it might be. The harder we work, the more the muscles tell us a story. Good. Into the middle of the belly of the muscle, middle third. That feels okay for me too. Means I kind of got my weekend right. Didn't overcook stuff. Okay, and then all the way up by the pubic bone, and just working that inner thigh all the way up at the top. And that works good. Okay, next move. Now, see the height of these things? They're pretty similar, right? So you can use a yoga block or you can use your foam roller. Since we've got the foam roller out, let's just use the foam roller. We're gonna lay on your side, on your right side. So everybody get on the right side because then the cueing is just a little bit easier. You're gonna take your right hand and grab that left knee. You've got single arm relax right here with the left arm. And all I want you to do is gently open that up. And then move through it. There's your mobility. 3, 4, we're going to go 10 of these. 5, 6, 7, good. Just roll through it. 8, if you want to spend a second back here, that feels pretty good. 9 and 10, and you're getting that really nice stretch through the upper left quadrant of the rib cage and probably a little bit through the belly and through the hip flexor on the other side, right? Okay, change sides. So now we're going to go right knee up at hip height, grab it with the left arm, single arm relax. We're going to roll forward and roll back. Keep this knee on the foam roller. 2, or the yoga block, whatever you chose. 3. And if you didn't have either one, you can totally do this from the ground. It's just a little bit different on the pelvis. 5. You think of all the reasons to stay mobile in that thoracic spine. Number one is the breath. How do you breathe? And 10. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and put that foam roller to the side. Breathing is the essence of life. It is also the essence of performance, right? So if the thoracic spine is locked up, then when you inhale, your rib cage doesn't expand the way it could. So now we've started to move. Let's go back to double arm relax. And all we're going to do from the full kneeling position, again, if you're not comfortable full kneeling, just stand up, no big deal. From here, all I want to do is turn to the right, come back, turn to the left, come back. We're not trying to restrict movement in your lower body. If it wants to go along for the ride, let it happen, okay? All right, double arm relax, turn to the left, turn to the right. 3, we're just going to do 10, 4, 5, 6, elbows back, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, staying from this same position, we're going to just work the hip hinge again. So right here, we're not going double arm relax. We're just going to push the hands forward, push the hands back, hips back at the same time. Hips back, hands forward. 2, just like that. Super easy, okay? 3, 4, keep the chest up. 5, keep the eyes up. 6, 7, 3 more. 8, hips back. 9, good. And 10. All right, good. Now, those of you that train with me a lot, you might have a Viper. The Viper is a tool, a training tool that I use with most of my athletes. And it's a beautiful tool because it's loaded. So this weighs about 4K. And in real world, that's almost 10 pounds, right? Might even be 10 pounds. Math whizzes out there, let me know, right? So with a Viper, we can just tilt. And as we tilt, and I'm going to not do it with a Viper, but if you have a Viper, please tilt your Viper, right? If you don't have a Viper, all we're going to do is a gentle weight shift right, weight shift left. Rhythm and timing. Right, left. 3, 4. So we're kind of up-regulating the right side and the left side. Nervous system, nervous system. You want to be able to equally load each side. So if you've had an ankle injury or a knee injury or you have a new hip, don't underestimate the power of this weight shifting, right? Weight shifting right, weight shifting left. Good. Now we're going to shift the hips. So hands on the hips, we're just going to, like a little clock, we're going to tick and talk. And you're staying narrow, so you're staying in that frontal plane. All right, just side to side. If you have a Viper, as you tilt the Viper to the right, the hips are going to go to the left. And now we're up-regulating even more what everybody else is doing. So if you don't have a Viper, you're definitely up-regulating that TFL, a little bit of glute, but you need to be able to weight shift and hip shift. So hip right, weight right. Hip left, weight left. Just nice and easy, okay? Good. That's going to lead us into right hand, single arm, relax, and we're going to want your right hand behind your head, okay? Right arm, single arm, relax. We're going to side bend left, shift to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. You are totally a little teapot right now. 5, 6, 7. Keep that elbow back. 8, 9, and 10. And then take that arm down and shake it out. And you can see what's happening is my hip is getting out of the way. So that's why we don't necessarily want to jam this arm down. Just kind of let it freely fall to the side. Okay, left arm, single arm, relax. We're going to hip shift left, side bend right. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are all the little things we really take for granted. 5, that if you don't take them for granted, they serve you really well. 6, there's nothing worse than a tight TFL. So TFL is this muscle that keeps your hips from shifting, right? So in a mobility sense, the TFL has a job to lengthen and then shorten. Lengthen and then shorten. Now he's working. In conjunction with this TFL, adductor magnus on the other side. Lengthen, shorten. Lengthen, shorten. So we get this very subtle relationship that we're building between adductor on the right, TFL on the left. When we shift to the right, TFL lengthens, adductor magnus lengthens, and then they come back. How that plays in gait, when I run and I land and I don't want to do that, TFL can work to stabilize the hip. So we need mobility, we need a healthy, functioning TFL so that we can actually stabilize with a working muscle instead of a tight muscle, right? Okay, so that's that. Next thing, let's get down onto the half kneeling position. You need your yoga block. I'm going to demonstrate this against the wall, but then I'm going to do it facing you, okay? So ideally, you're up against the wall with your right knee. Your left knee, take the long part of the yoga block and put it right there. If you don't have a yoga block, pretend you do. Just leave it, okay? So right here, what we don't want is this knee moving a lot. So right here, we're in a half kneeling position against the wall. Right knee down. I'm going to turn to the right and just hold that position, okay? So I'm going to do it facing you. You guys do it facing the wall. Listen to my words. If your right knee is down, you're going to turn to the right. Keep the left knee out. And from right there, immediately you should feel your left adductor, your left inner thigh. So from right there, you're just holding that. Stay nice and tall. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then breathe. And relax. And then bring it back. So, we're doing it on the other side. The wall gives us reference, a point of reference. So now the left knee is up against the wall. Right knee is up. If you don't have a wall, you'll follow along without the wall, like I'm going to do in just a second. So we're going to start here. This is a shortened adductor. As soon as we turn into the wall, that's when we're going to get the mobility and change. So right knee is up, left knee is down, and we turn into the wall. From right there, we keep that right knee lateral. Keep it out. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, get nice and tall, and breathe into it. So you're turning towards the leg that is on the ground. And then come back to center and relax. Demonstrate really quick, going back to right knee down, left knee up. We're going to go ahead and turn into the wall. We've got left knee forward, left elbow is going to touch left knee and come back, okay? Doing it without the wall for you guys. We're going to go ahead, double arm relax, turn towards the wall, left elbow to left knee, and there's your side bend. 2, keep that knee out. 3, whoa, another reason to use the wall. 4, and 1 more, and 5. All right, same thing other side. I'm going to do this one against the wall. Okay, left knee down, right knee up, double arm prisoner or double arm relax, face the wall, right knee to right elbow, 5 times. Okay, over the next few weeks, we're going to be working a lot out of this position. Long through the hip flexors, strong through the upper back, opening the lateral line of the body. We already know that one of the fundamental talking points to how I train people is to maintain a nice big open front line of the body. In order to keep the front line open, we need to strengthen the back line. If you want to join my premium group for the next 8 weeks through the end of the year, get stronger, work on your mobility, but most importantly, mobility is maintained through strength. Peace. See you next Monday.